Nityananda. My name is Lala Picard, and I'd like to share my amazing story with Swamiji, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva. This is a bit personal and a hot topic, but I really wanted to share. It is also my Guru Purnima gift for you, my beloved Swamiji. So I only found Swamiji a bit more than 2 years ago, or I better say, as Swamiji says himself about his devotees, he found me. So please understand, I am not from Hindu origin, nor even from Indian origin, and I was not even interested with spirituality during most of my adult life. Actually, I was born in Madagascar from a very Catholic family, and I moved to France when I was 9 years old. So, in the 70s, when the scandals about these Catholic priests who abused young children were revealed, I started to distance myself from religion. Actually, I'm a trained medical doctor. My husband is also a doctor, and he is from a Jewish origin. So, for different reasons, we've both developed a strong resistance to any form of religion. Actually, like most of our friends and family members. One fact I've discovered and was fascinated with during my medical studies is the placebo effect. Realizing that someone who is taking a sugar pill can manifest a spontaneous healing was the most fascinating fact I've ever learned during my medical studies. You might find this strange, right? So, when I was a young child, I've seen a healer who completely healed a second-degree burn on a person's arm before my two eyes. And this experience left a strong mark in me. So, when I discovered that a so called miraculous healing is really possible, that some serious scientists have actually documented and proved the possibility of spontaneous healing, it was a turning point in my medical career. I strongly felt that medical science should be about studying this natural inner healing power, and that funds should be poured in that direction instead of making people believe that health and wellness are only gained from outside pills or procedures. Now, let's be really honest about this, right? With conventional medicine, positive results are often incomplete, if not absent. People develop side effects that are often more serious than the original illness their treatment is supposed to fix. So, since people believe there is no other way to treat themselves, sadly, they become lifelong faithful customers of pharmaceutical companies. So, seeing that, I started to lose faith in conventional medicine. So, despite the 12 years I spent studying medicine, I decided to not go back to my GP profession after a long career pause due to my parenting responsibilities. And this is how and when I started my spiritual seeking journey. I studied homeopathy and acupuncture, but then I discovered the wonders meditation and yoga are doing to heal many diseases like hypertension, diabetes, or depression. And actually, many medical institutions are now including meditation and yoga as part of their medical arsenal. I couldn't but research more and more about this so called miraculous or spontaneous healing. I started to follow scientists who were interested in this fascinating power of self healing. Neuroscientists, geneticists, doctors, and even physicists. There are actually lots of scientists who are more or less secretly investigating the science behind this. I've attended many workshops, programs, and retreats of many kinds. One thing after the other, I finally stepped upon Swamiji's most popular video about the third eye. This was 2 years and 3 months ago. That was it. I knew I found what I was looking for. And since then, I stopped following anyone else. All my questions are answered in Swamiji's teachings. And it's a never ending, fascinating source of knowledge. The only science I really care about, which is the science of our inner world, right? However, at that point of time, everything else about Swamiji was a bit confusing for me. The concept of guru, the anti-guru hate speeches, Swamiji's avatar mission, persecution on Swamiji, Hinduism, anti-Hindu gangs. Clarity came to me in a very strange way. Just less than a year after I discovered Swamiji, something which I consider now as an auspicious divine lila happened to me. An abnormal bleeding happened in an intimate part of my body. I had actually a very healthy lifestyle for most part of my life, so I was far from thinking that anything serious could happen to me. My GP saw a lesion and referred me to a specialist. Biopsies were taken, and a week after the results came back showing cancer and a not good type kind of cells. So I still remember how the doctor was almost having tears when she announced the results to me. She gave me the contact number of the oncology team support, including nurses and psychologists, and started to organize further examinations like MRI to see the extension of the lesion. I could not believe it, and after I left the doctor, I started to read the medical literature about this cancer on my phone. I was in a panic state for maybe about 30 minutes. And then I had a kind of voice inside me telling me that I am manifesting this because I have to experience for myself that very spontaneous healing possibility that I was so looking for. So I didn't contact the oncology team support. I told myself, okay, that my MRI will be normal. I had only 10 days before my appointment. So I turned to the only way I knew to do this, Swamiji's teaching, right? You have to understand, I've never met Swamiji physically. I didn't feel any special connection with him at the time. My family was constantly warning me about what they found on internet about Swamiji, and beside watching a few satsangs on YouTube, all I did before this diagnosis was few completion sessions and few day programs like Kalpataru. That's it. The Sangha member sent my picture to Swamiji for blessings, and I started to ferociously apply everything I've learned from Swamiji's teaching. Morning yoga, puja, listening to satsang daily, chanting Mahavakya all day, manifesting powers, taking haritaki, neem, and even rubbing turmeric on my forehead at night. The only thing I skipped was darshan because at that time I didn't understand why we are watching Swamiji not talking. My husband was used to be very skeptical and judgmental about Swamiji, but during this period, he let me alone and kept quiet. I stopped hiding under the blanket to watch puja and started to have my own puja kit and have my personal puja space in my house. Well, 10 days after, my MRI came back normal. They couldn't find the slightest lesion. They really took time to share the results considering the diagnosis they gave already. I felt a big embarrassment from the medical team, and my husband was furious because it looked like they gave the wrong diagnosis, right? Like it was a medical mistake. I knew what happened. The body went through a spontaneous healing process that I was sure of. Another doctor saw me after that. There were no more bleeding and the lesion was barely visible. They read the biopsy results again, and they were actually different. The conclusion were more debatable, less serious this time. I knew what happened. The past results changed. As a scientist, I am here really weighing my words because transforming a scientist's rational logic to understand Swamiji's teaching and manifest a spontaneous healing is only possible thanks to the initiation and the blessing of an avatar. So everything Swamiji is saying resonates as a complete truth in me. It's like I've always known this. Of course, offering Pada Pujas and attending Paramashivoham recently immensely helped me to gain what was still um, lacking a little bit, is a deep, unshakable connection with my beloved Guru. And this feeling of complete protection and trust a daughter can have for her beloved father is there now. And know it will always be here for me. And having this is the most precious wealth in life. Now, I wanted to share the most beautiful part of my connection with Swamiji. It is my involvement in his mission, the Nityananda Gurukul, this authentic Vedic education system around an enlightened master. I am a Gurukul Acharya and the lead of Gurukul Acharyas in Europe, Africa, Oceania, and Middle East zone now. And to me, Gurukul is the most inspiring part of Swamiji's gigantic mission of creating an enlightened civilization on planet Earth. This young generation represents the enlightened leaders in this new world. The way they understand themselves, the world, the way they understand existence itself, the way they learn, their intelligence, their presence, the powers they manifest, everything about them is just extraordinary. It is giving me not only hope for the future, but enthusiasm and extreme joy to be part of this mission. I feel extremely blessed to work with Gurukul kids as an Acharya. Acharyas not only have the huge privilege to channel Swamiji's presence for them, but we also benefit from the kids' space of innocence, a space of simplicity and integrity, a space of pure joy and great enthusiasm for life. I cannot but recommend all parents to register their kids for Gurukul. All your modern parenting issues will just melt away. And anyone who is interested with education or kids, this is really the best place to be on earth. So, thank you so much for listening to my story. And Swamiji, I bow down to your lotus feet. I thank you so much for everything you gave me. And I'm feeling so blessed to have you in my life. Thank you, Swamiji. Nityanandam.